Good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show here on TTT, where we are going full circle, like Bungie said. It might be in the way that you think, but we have been talking about young persons and ways that we can help them mentally, physically, and now how they can help society. No stranger to the Now Morning Show is the Cropper Foundation, represented in Mr. Omar Mohammed, the Chief Executive Officer. And this morning, Dr. Sherwyn Millette of COSTAATT, he's the Dean of the City Campus and lead on the institution's Circular Economy initiatives, joining us this morning to connect it all, to go full circle, and tell our viewers how they could win up to $300,000 in prizes. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good morning.
Now, anytime we're talking big figures, it is a great place to be. But tell the viewers what it means to go full circle. Omar, I understand that it was a concept that you guys reached out to COSTAATT to collaborate on. So tell us a little bit about the initiative itself and what it is.
Yeah, sure. So the foundation is in the process of implementing a big multi-year project that's supported by the IDB Lab in particular. And it's all about this idea of catalyzing the circular economy. So, not just, recycling or individual parts, but education, capacity building, outreach. So, we had a huge part of it around this idea of entrepreneurship.
Right.
How do you not just, support some of the big picture things, but get people understanding that, there's a whole economy in the circular economy, and how, the different ways that they can participate. So, of course, we reached out to COSTAATT because not just in Sherwyn, but also the school itself has a pretty significant history in supporting not just youth entrepreneurship, but sustainability, circular economy, and of course, he will speak more about their new school. So it seemed like a really interesting collaboration. And of course, we want to get to the sort of grassroots, the community level, and really reach out to people who, again, may not traditionally be included in some of the more traditional avenues for this type of support. So, we reached out to COSTAATT, and it's been a great relationship ever since.
I love the fact that you plan on doing this annually. It's not just a one-time thing. But you did say that it is interesting to persons who may not necessarily be included. And that immediately speaks to me, because when we talk about any sort of economics, any sort of economy, specifically circular economy, I have to ask questions, Doctor. Can you give us, in layman's, what that concept is, circular economy, that is?
No problem. Please just call me Sherwyn. That's fine. Circular economy, at its base level, is just simply a set of activities that allow you to minimize waste while maximizing resource efficiency. So we want to kind of move your economic development, move your creation of wealth away from just simply extracting things from the environment. So that's the short answer. It has three major kind of concepts beneath it. Right. That is designing out waste. So we often design things and we don't think about how we're going to get rid of it, how we're going to dispose of it. So we have to design that out of the system. We have the resource efficiency, like I said, and we also want to have a regenerative nature on the environment. So we're going to put nutrients, what we call nutrients, back into the environment. So that could be composted materials and that type of thing, or we convert it to energy to power other things.
This is beautiful and spans well across a plethora of industries. Yes. We are looking at creative and innovative concepts anywhere. And that means everybody is likely to create something, a concept, a product, a service that can earn them $100,000. Let's find out more about that part of things, because I'm sure somebody home is like, all right, let's go. Yes. Dr. Millette, or Sherwyn, rather, tell me what we're looking at in terms of criteria. What do we need to come to right with?
The idea itself needs to be circular. If you check our website, we do have some examples of what is circular economy, so that people have some short videos that they can just simply look through. We have some frequently asked questions that they can go through on that, or they can just send us an email. I will generally see the email, so I respond quickly. Okay. But essentially, we have three categories. We have new entrepreneurs, right? So you've never done anything in business before, you have a great idea that you believe is circular, you can apply, you can win $100,000 in that one. So that youth entrepreneurship, that type of thing.
Check the box.
No. anything. And like I said, and we will work with you through the process. The second category is for SMEs. So small and medium enterprises may have a really good idea, or they may need to scale up an idea that is circular in nature. So again, we will work with them to kind of bring this to fruition. One of the things that Omar wanted us to do is we need to get people to a prototype kind of perspective. So we're working at that. And the final category is one that we added after we spoke, in that often the NGO sector is ignored. And they themselves are actually an integral part of the circular economy, because they are the advocates for the environment. They're advocates for people who don't have voices. So we felt that they would do a lot of really good work also. So we also said, you know, okay, y'all get another $100,000 prize. And that was advocated by my research assistant more than anything. I was like, y'all need to give them the same amount of money. I'm like, okay, cool, we'll do it. No problem.
So equal playing field for just about everybody.
Just about
Whether
everybody.
you're brand new, existing, and needing to upscale, or if you're an NGO, this is the spot to be. Now, tell me a little bit, Omar, as to how you think the Full Circle Challenge will engage local communities and stakeholders in promoting that sustainable practice and addressing environmental challenges. We know at the core, this is what Cropper Foundation is all about. So how do you see that translating, as you say, grassroots level?
So I think, well, in a couple of ways, basically. The one is the idea that, you know, before we would think, oh, it's a good thing, it's a feel-good thing to, you know, recycle, to not throw away things, to reuse things. So we want to really get the idea across that, you know, someone from a community, actually, Orange Valley, said this fantastic thing at a little town hall session we had. And he said, yeah, for him, waste is when something don't have any value. But everything have value, so nothing is really waste. I was like, oh, that's, write that down.
Profound.
So it's really to get people to understand that there is value in a lot of these things that we would usually discard. So, you know, you can create, you know, a little micro economy out of it in your community. You can reduce costs within your households. You can reduce the litter or the sort of the degradation of your community and the environment, because you don't have to throw away these things. So, you know, in those ways, I think the challenge and the outreach should really drive home that fact that, you know, everything has value in terms of, it's really about how you look at it. And it quickly ties into something else we're doing in addition to the challenge, which is a new campaign that we launched called That's Good Thing. And I guess we can talk about that some other time. But again, it's driving home this idea that, you know, when you were smaller, your mother would say, no, don't throw that away, that's a good thing. So it's really about, you know, what are all the good things around us that we can make into a business, we can include back into our daily lives, and basically have what we call a win-win situation for everybody involved.
That's a real good thing, actually.
Exactly,
And it sounds like you've already, Sherwyn, I was going to say Dr. Millette again. You kind of already figured out how you can contribute to wider society from what I'm hearing, because when we see communities get involved, it's easy then to campaign to change policy and things of that sort, yes?
Yes, to kind of just piggyback on what Omar was saying, the key for circular economy is really longevity. Use something for as long as possible. Change the value, upcycle it, all of these types of things. From a policy perspective, what we have found, because we were doing some research, that we do have quite a lot of policies in Trinidad and Tobago already that could promote circular economy, but they have to be enforced, right? Some of the things that are still outstanding is some of the legislative agenda that would create a nurturing and supportive environment for people to explore these well, I don't want to call them waste, but these byproducts.
Okay.
Right, and you know, then you have institutions like COSTAATT, which is a government institution, who are promoting sustainability within our own strategic agenda. It's one of the 3 pillars that we stand on, is sustainable futures, right? Global pathways and, you know, embracing technology and those types of things. But even further than that is that from a curriculum and co-curriculum perspective, we're developing interventions that would promote sustainability. So much so that we actually have, I think we've created the first school in the Caribbean that is specifically geared towards the environment, circular economy, and sustainability. So they launched last year, so they heavily working with their dean and so on to create curriculum, not just simply a degree, but short courses, skill-based courses that people can use every day.
Right.
Right?
Well, we know people could use that $300,000 every day in many ways, and as you're saying, so can the communities and the country at large.
Yes.
But in terms of making sure that they get a chance to do so, we have a deadline that we should be looking at of May 7th, is it?
May 7th, we've extended the deadline a little bit. March, sorry. Yes, not May. That would be way too late. March 7th, sorry. And yes, so they will submit an application online. It's a very simple application. And we will be reviewing that in the month of March. We'll get them involved. We'll have a series of workshops in April. They will submit a 90-second elevator pitch and a 10-page business plan, so a short business plan. We will then shortlist them, and we'll have a face-to-face competition that we're calling the GAIL. Right? We might make some tweaks to that, but basically think Shark Tank for the Caribbean. Right? And we will be working with some external judges, and we will assign our prizes, and then we have a group of mentors and coaches that will work with them post-competition so that we can implement and use these things.
Sustainability is the name of the game. So I trust that we will be hearing from you guys again post-competition for updates and, of course, annually moving forward. But let me say thank you quite genuinely for not just creating these sorts of platforms, but for collaborating and keeping us in the know as to how you could possibly win $300,000 in prizes as we want you to come full circle. The challenge is on. The deadline is March 7th, and you can head to Full Circle at COSTAATT.edu.tt for more information, as the College of Science, Technology and Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, along with the Cropper Foundation and the Inter-American Developmental Bank, invite you to challenge yourself. Dr. Millette, Omar, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the Now Morning Show. And to those of you who are going up, best of luck. Hopefully we'll see you come full circle right here on the Now after this break.